get them. But the question is, can we save it? Let's give it a go. So what I've done is I've applied a couple of coats of UV primer, cured it because it only takes with this 15 to 30 seconds. And you can see where I've still got the high spots from the run, low spots other than where the gray is, so I need to flatten all off. Where I had the nasty line here, we're almost level. There's a little bit still to go there, but I'm saving the panel, and that's a neat little trick. Other products I've used is I've actually used the Super Azlex, which is a dry sanding product, but for this I want to use it wet, and you can see it works perfectly well. So that was the 800. I'm now going to drop down to the 1200. I've just got it on there, soft block foam with a hard Velcro connection there, hard block underneath. That can be added and taken off. It's quite hard. There you go. You can see. And so we're just going to finish it off now with a little 1200 and then probably move to some 1500 and Bufflex. Something else to note is I put this tape here, and the reason for that is because we've got quite a hard swage line and I didn't want to cut that swage line at all, so I put the tape just to protect the edge of that swage line. Okay, just to recap what I used, I first went with an 800, then I moved to the 1200, and those were both Azlex products, and then I used the Bufflex. Now these products are primarily designed to be used for dry sanding, but as you can see, I wet sanded this, and the reason for that is it gave me a little bit more control. I used two blocks. One was this very soft spongy one, and then I finished it off with a harder block, and with that interchangeable that's a solid backing pad there, and I could just move that from one sanding block to the other. And that just also gave me more control. And so what we've got now, there's a couple of spots of primer left, which I will address, but pretty much it's time to give it a polish up. And I went in, you would have just seen on the DA, the orbital DA, with Bufflex 2000 on a disc and then 3000. There, I would say 98% out. Just needs a little bit more of a flat and then a polish, because you can just catch it on that pipe work, and then it'll be good to go. Just going to take you through the products that I use. So I soft masked the area up. I used some UV primer. In this instance, I used the Glazerite UV primer with a 1 mil nozzle through the gun. I then cured it, and again on this job I used the Hedson Smart Cure 395. I first, on my initial lay, I put 2 coats, then I sanded it back, you would have seen that in the video, and then I put down another 2 coats just to try and get rid of any high spots and protect any low spots again. Now what I used for sanding, I actually wet sanded this instead of dry sanding it, and I used the Asilex 800. Then I dropped to the 1200 and finished it off with some 2000. I used a couple of blocks. I used a soft foam but with a hard backing. I swapped that hard backing over onto this pad because it's just a little bit easier, even though you don't have the flex there, just to hold it in your hand it was a little bit easier. This is a Kovacs, by the way. And then I finished off with some Bufflex 2000 on my PXE80. Not with that one, I used an orbital head on it. This is a rotary, which I like. I prefer a rotary for polishing. And the polish that I used was the Verrecula G360. So that's really it, really simple. The reason for choosing a UV product rather than a typical putty is it has a 15 to 30 second curing time and I can get straight in there. So it saves me time. And I hope you really enjoyed that video, and I hope you found you can take something useful away from this. Thank you very much.